I think the Dallas Cowboys want Dak to take a coupon for a discount. And
they want the home team discount.
He's saying no way.
No how.
I don't think a holdout is effective for him. I mean, I don't think he'll hold out. I really don't think
he said
it. I don't.
He put it on the microphone. Putting it out there.
I don't.
Well, thanks for watching Numbskull News. Today, talking about Dak Prescott's contract or lack thereof. Are they going to franchise him? Is he going to sit out? I'm a huge Dak Prescott fan. I'm a huge Cowboys fan. But the way everything is working out, I don't know. But one thing I do want to address right off the bat is this first clip.
I mean, I think the Cowboys messed up. They should have did this earlier. I think they messed up by not getting this deal done.
Now, that seems to be the prevailing wisdom no matter what show you listen to, radio, TV, internet, whatever. They all seem to think the same thing, which is, oh, the Cowboys waited too long. Well, it's not like they forgot to sign Dak Prescott. They've been trying to. They've been giving him offers and offers and offers, and he declines them all. Takes two to tango.
I think Dak's going to continue to push the contract back to the Cowboys unless it's a contract that makes him the highest paid player in football.
I'm not the biggest Nick Wright fan, but on this issue of Dak Prescott and his money, his contract, he's actually been really good. And I think he's right about this, that Dak just seems to want to be the highest paid player ever. That's why I get lost, because I want the Cowboys to sign Dak Prescott. But for more than Russell Wilson,
He ain't getting a contract because he ain't done enough to earn the money that he wants.
The Cowboys
his eyes are bigger than his stomach. They wanted to pay the man $32 million. He said no.
I can't.
They believe in Dak. They think can be their franchise quarterback. I don't think there's a doubt about that. But I think they may feel like you don't need to be the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Does he deserve it? That's debatable. Has he earned a new contract? Yeah. If Jerry Jones felt he was worth the money that he was asking for, he would give it to him.
Nothing else Dak Prescott needs to do to prove that he should be in the highest paid market in football for his position.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Yeah, there is. He could play like an elite player.
and there you have the question. Is Dak Prescott an elite quarterback? Now look, he's earned a new contract. There's no doubt about it. He's put up numbers. He's got wins, whatever metrics you want to use. As a Cowboys fan, I am perfectly comfortable with Dak Prescott being the franchise quarterback for the next, 10 years. I'm fine with that. Does he need to be the highest paid quarterback in the league? That seems to be what he's angling for. And I think TJ Houshmandzadeh is right in that if Jerry Jones felt that he wanted to give him the biggest contract of all quarterbacks, then he would have already given it to him. And the reason he has it, because he's not an elite quarterback. After 4 years, you would think you would have seen an elite quarterback by now.
If you reward mediocrity, I mean, he had a good season. Their team isn't where they want to be. He isn't the guy that put them over the top. They have a lot of things around Dak right now. If you put a lot of quarterbacks in Dak's situation, I think they might even do better than Dak did this year.
Now, I don't really go along with Mr. Toomer and how he feels that Dak Prescott is a mediocre quarterback. I don't think that at all. However, I think if Aaron Rodgers had this, or Russell Wilson had this team, are they 8-8? Probably not.
We came in August, we was like, well, I don't know if he can throw. I don't know if he can get enough yards. So he passes for almost 5,000 yards. Touchdowns at 30. 20-plus yard passes. He goes up to 68 after last year throwing for 38. I mean, what else my man got to do?
Man, I like Bucky Brooks. I really like old Bucky. And he's right. Dak Prescott answered a lot of questions. A lot of people, hey, can this guy throw the ball? Is he another Tim Tebow type? Well, yeah, he can throw the ball. He's illustrated that. I thought he illustrated that before this year.
For all of this other ancillary stuff, Dak Prescott has been the epitome of perfection in every other way. Throwing the football, there's stuff to be desired, but it still didn't stop him from throwing for nearly 5,000 yards.
Dak was getting fat on bad teams mostly. I mean, the Cowboys really weren't beating a lot of good teams.
And unfortunately, Max Kellerman is right about that. I mean, those numbers, how did he get those numbers? A lot of bad teams. I mean, he put up a ton of numbers against the Giants, the Redskins. It seems like so many times they were having to come from behind. And too many times they weren't able to close the deal and close the distance. But when you're down by 20 points, several scores, and the defense starts playing more of a prevent style of defense, then yeah, that's going to lend itself to you getting a lot of junk time numbers. And unfortunately, that was a lot of Dak Prescott's numbers.
Historically, at least the last 10 years or so, it's been about who's next.
And just because it's the next quarterback up and he's pretty good, and I believe in Dak. I think in the long run he's going to be a great player. But I don't know that for certain. I just think so. And I think the Cowboys feel the same way. We're not sure. Look, they didn't believe in Kirk Cousins in Washington, right? They started franchising him. We think so. We're not sure.
And again, I'm with Max Kellerman. I think Dak can be a really good player. I don't know if he'll get to the Russell Wilson line. I think actually Max Kellerman may be a little more optimistic than me. But I think he can approach it. I think he can get close. But right now, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, all this talent on this team, I know the defense failed horribly this year. But there was plenty of room for Dak Prescott to make some plays against New Orleans. Something. I know there was weather conditions against the Patriots, but if you want to get paid like the highest paid quarterback, make a couple plays so we could win the game. And, against the Jets, I mean, you got shut out basically against the Jets in the first half. But there's too many times where Dak was just absent. He just, despite putting up great numbers against the Jets, we lost the game because he did nothing in the first half. And that's a problem. That's a real problem I have as far as seeing my Cowboys giving him a ass ton of money.
The reason that you don't franchise tag a guy is because if he plays well, then you're going to have to pay him top of the market. But if Dak is already demanding top of the market, then you might as well franchise tag.
He's asking for the biggest of everything, right? He wants the most money per year. He wants the biggest amount of guaranteed money per year or for the overall contract or whatever. He's asking for the absolute moon, and you got to play like that. You got to play like that every year, and Dak has never played like that. He's played well, very well. I've been happy with Dak. It's not like Peyton Manning, who takes a 2-win team and goes and wins his division, has 12 wins and all that. Dak's not going to do that. He's not going to make those differences, but he'll keep you respectable. I'm partially open to franchising him. I don't find it disrespectful, but some people do, and apparently Dak does because he doesn't want to show up for OTAs, and which I don't know if that really matters. I mean, the problem is he going to show up for training camp? There's nothing in Dak's play this year really helped me solve the problem for myself, is really supporting Dak getting big money.
Dak Prescott has made, $4 million in his career as a franchise quarterback? That is sad and sorry.
Look, man, I think this is so disrespectful. I can't believe they're disrespecting the guy. They got him on a peanuts deal. 4 years he gave them on a peanuts deal, and they couldn't come up with an agreement. So now Dak's turn is to flip the tables.
And it's true, he hasn't made a ton of money playing football. Your salary cap is going to go up significantly here the next year. You got a CBA that's coming up, and you're talking about a possible 17th game, a couple more playoff games. So the revenue is going to increase from that as well, which is more money into the salary cap. So I kind of understand where Dak's coming from a little bit, like, hey, I don't want to sign a deal now that's going to be completely obsolete in 2 years. He feels he's the next guy up, and that's what he should get.
Hey, wearing that cowboy helmet has value to it. It really does. Dak is making, let's just say, and I think he's making good money. I say he's making $10 million on commercials, all these commercials he does off the field.
Now, after I saw Eric Dickerson say that, I went and did some research for myself and was shocked to learn Dak Prescott actually made $50 million just this year in endorsements. How much money does Dak want? And Jerry Jones is right, man. There is tremendous value in being the Cowboys quarterback. Because if he was a quarterback for Tampa Bay, he's not making $50 million off the field. Dak's a top 10 quarterback. He is. Now, he's like number 10. He's at the bottom of that. But he is a top 10 quarterback. I believe he should get paid. You're making an ass ton of money off the field, and you can't take a little bit less. I mean, what is it worth to Dak Prescott off the field if he wins a Super Bowl? It's huge money, especially being, the Cowboys quarterback. I mean, that $50 million might go to $80, $100 million off the field. Like I said, Jerry Jones has this exactly right. If you take a little bit less, allow us to really build a roster around you and keep it intact for a good long, 3 or 4 year run, what is it going to add to your value, as a pitch man off the field? Tremendous value. I don't know. I don't get it.
Do you think there's another team that would pay Dak as the highest paid there is?
I mean, I don't know about highest paid in the league, but I think if Dak were a free agent right now, there are enough desperate teams who've been in the quarterback wilderness, they would pay him $35 million a year, and those teams would be making a mistake.
Yeah, I don't know if there's one team out there that will make him the highest paid player in the league or give him the most guaranteed money out of every quarterback in the league. I don't know if that exists. Will someone pay him 35 like Nick Wright was saying? Probably. Will it be a mistake? But if you've got an incredibly young team and very gifted guys, maybe some future Hall of Famers, maybe you can win with Dak and do something great. But it won't be sustainable because Dak's eating up so much of your salary cap. He's not the type of guy that can just pick up a team, put him on his back, and get you to a Super Bowl. That's not happening with Dak, unfortunately. And he's probably not going to get you to an NFC Championship game either, or AFC Championship game. And then there's Stephen A. Smith.
Here is where the ultimate indictment comes against Jerry Jones. I don't want to hear anybody bringing up blackness from the perspective of, Dak is a black quarterback. No, that's not what this is. There are plenty of black people that Jerry Jones has paid. There are plenty of black people who have vouched for Jerry Jones in terms of what he's willing to do to take care of them on and off the field. If this were Tony Romo, would he have to go through this?
He seems to be talking out of both sides of his mouth. He's saying it's not a black issue or a white issue, black versus white, whatever. But if it was Tony Romo, would Tony Romo have to go through this? Well, to me, the answer is no, but it's for a couple different reasons. Number one, Tony Romo was a better quarterback. After 4 years of Tony Romo and 4 years of Dak, just look at those two careers. Romo was way better. He was way better and didn't have near the weapons Dak Prescott does. When Tony Romo was at his best, you weren't thinking, well, is he a top 10 quarter? I think I could squeeze him into the top 10. That's how I view Dak. Tony Romo? No, he was a no-brainer. He was in the top 10 every year. He's a top 10 quarterback. No doubt about it. Very talented guy. A playmaker. Make all the throws. He got derailed by injury. Imagine Tony Romo in 2016 with that team. That was the best Cowboys team I've seen in a very, very long time, since the 90s. And Dak took them to the playoffs. I think they were 12 or 13 win team. I can't remember which. I think it was 13. 13 wins. And got beat by Green Bay. No shame in it. Dak played really well against Green Bay, but Tony Romo, a healthy, in his prime Tony Romo, that's a Super Bowl team, guys. And I don't even know in this same circumstances if Tony Romo would be asking for the moon. The more I think about it, man, the more it kind of makes me sick to my stomach with Dak. Like, it's starting to feel like it's not worth it.
Absolutely not. I'm not showing up and find somebody who's better than an upgrade.
Okay.
Mess around and get Quincy Carter up in there.
That's fine.
Mess around. Go back. They've seen that. Mess around, get Drew Henson, get Chad Hutchinson. We talk about those quarterbacks like they're easy to find in Dallas.
Our quarterback.
They need to pay him.
Let me tell you.
And of course, this is the one thing all Cowboys fans fear is going into the quarterback drought. And we've seen it. Bucky Brooks did a good job of pulling up all these quarterbacks we tried to cycle through until we finally found Tony Romo. What Bucky fails to either report or realize or even think about is that this is a very unique offseason, I believe, as far as the quarterback market goes. Because there are good guys available through free agency. Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy B, right? He's kind of like a Dak Jr. I don't think he's as good as Dak, but he's not that far off. He's a good leader. Guys like to play with him. And you can get him on a reasonable deal. If you can get that defense worked out, make sure Amari Cooper's back, get the run game going again, then you absolutely can do some winning with Teddy Bridgewater. There's been a lot of talk about Tom Brady. Would you be willing to pay him $30 million? That would still be less than what Dak's asking for. He's not physically as good as he used to be. However, mentally, Brady has so much experience. That's something Dak just doesn't have yet just because he hadn't played long enough yet. He's forgotten more about football than Dak knows right now. With Mike McCarthy, I don't know, maybe. And the trade market is interesting too. I mean, possibly Cam Newton. You might be able to get Cam, and Cam's making less money. I know he's coming off of injury, but if he's healthy, he's already proven that he's better than Dak. He's a former MVP. And he was playing at a high level when he got hurt. So if you can get him and reestablish him, and he's still young enough, you might have something. Are the Cowboys likely to go with another quarterback? No, they're probably not. Are they going to franchise tag him? Probably. That's what I'm hearing. They'll probably give him the exclusive tag. That's probably what they're going to do, and they're going to kick the can down the road for a few months and try to get something worked out. It comes down to the inevitable thing when you make a video like this. What would I do? Which is it's so tough to figure out what you would do. Because you like the player, you just don't like the money he's asking for, which that's where the Cowboys are at. I think I would do the non-exclusive franchise tag, to tell you the truth. Let's see if Tampa Bay or someone else wants to give us 2 first-round picks for Dak. And if he's going to be really contemptuous, then trade his ass. Trade him. If that's the way it's going to be, because there are good, if you can actually work out a deal for Cam Newton, I would do that in a minute. Tom Brady, a little more reservations because of the age. The only thing I could think of is give him the non-exclusive franchise tag. If someone gives us 2 first-round picks for him, bye. Good luck, man. Let's see you do it in another organization without all these weapons. Let's see you elevate something. Because I haven't seen him elevate jack shit here. I've seen him play well. I've seen him be part of winning games. But I've also seen him be part of losing games. Like I said, I don't hate Dak. I want him back. But I just don't like this crap of, I got to have this top market. And I know I'm the Cowboys quarterback and I'm making $50 million off the field, but who cares? I don't give a damn about that. I want that money too. I want that money too. And normally I am never okay with a hometown discount. Not for a football player. Baseball, yeah. NBA, yeah, because that's fully guaranteed money. And the NFL is not for long. You get hurt at any time. You never give a hometown discount. I am never for a football player doing that. Except quarterbacks. And not all the time. If you have a rebuilding team like Russell Wilson and you're the main attraction of that team, then yeah, you get everything you can at that point. Someone like Dak Prescott, you have everything around you. Yeah, take a smaller deal. Dak is not being very self-aware or realizing, what his full capabilities are right now. I know he believes in himself, but there's a point where there's self-belief and then there's being delusional. He should be self-aware enough to know that he's not at Russell Wilson's level yet. It's all about the money. If that's all it's going to be about, then I'm kind of interested in seeing what else is out there. And right now, there's a whole lot out there. It doesn't have to be Dak or nothing. Anyway, that's all I got on that. I'll be back with some other crap later. Bye.